Nipsey Hussle, the tragic death of Nipsey Hussle. This past Sunday, we had a cow with just you know envy, hating, just take the man's life away. A man that came out, from nothing, like we all do, and was done so much for the community, done so much for so many people around the world, was well respected throughout the whole community, the hip hop, the sports community, the politic community. I mean, the list goes on. The man was well respected, and for him to just lose his life, so horrific, man. It's just very very sad, sad news for the world. Um, him having to leave a daughter and a son behind. That's just something that I hate that this world in general has to deal with on an everyday basis. I just want to talk about what could have been done differently. When you look at the facts of that day, if we go back particular to the day of Nipsey Hussle's final moments, right, where he was pretty much at the store. He was talking to a friend that just came out of prison for doing 20 years, right? And remember we was talking about the other day behind camera, off camera, that supposedly he had a conversation with a guy that was an alleged snitch. Well, I had a video today, which I'm not able to bring up right now because I don't have my phone in front of me, which his business partner that I was telling you about was talking, was with him that day, and they was talking, and all of a sudden a guy approached both of them, which ended up turning out to be the killer, Eric Holder. He said he was a rapper. He shook their hand or whatever, and then the business partner went to go get a burger. The other guy left too, and as he's in the midst of leaving to go get that burger, the guy comes back and he just shoots him. And he said it was just over pure hate, pure envy. You know what I mean? It was just over jealousy. You know what I mean? And it's just so sad that we have to continue to deal with stuff like that in this world. And since pretty much that that's what end up happening. What I say, what could have probably been done differently is the moment he approached them and was pretty much saying he's a rapper and all that. I think at that point in time they should have just leave this the scene. You know what I mean? Leave the scene. Just because the thing is, when you're a high profile person, I feel like I know they might feel like sometimes they want to be human, like normal, and they feel like sometimes I just want to go by myself. And it was also alleged that he didn't notify his security team or whatever, and the same thing happened with I believe X, Estacion, where he pretty much stepped down and did the same thing. And I want to give my my input to all you celebrities out there, just people in general, just be more cautious with your life. You know what I mean? Especially when you go out, even when you feel like it's for 5 minutes. That I don't need my security team. I don't need no protection. It's just 5 minutes. It's just up the block. Look at these two situations. You know what I mean? That if you can have a billion people loving you, but it just take that one hater. Just that one hater, you know what I mean, to want to take your life away. Because, the one thing, guys, that we don't get a rewind on is our life. Is one time, once we're in that situation, and we get, God forbid, shot, you can't rewind. So what you got to do is, you got to do your best to prevent the situation. You know what I mean? And I felt like, I felt like if he had at least a security team and they's armed, he couldn't have just run up on them like that, because they would have let off on him. It would have never happened. You know what I mean? And I know since he felt like he was well loved, and he felt like see, the thing about this world, you cannot have too much of a good heart, and that's the reason why. It's because you feel like no matter how generous you are to people, you always got that one person that don't care about none of that. You know what I mean? That is just has hatred.
He drinks hate every morning.
You know what I mean? Pure hatred in their heart that, they want to cry later. The guy tried to check into a mental hospital after that. Like, nobody want to hear no sorry, which is all bullshit. Now it's just to save your ass. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to hear that. You know what I mean? Nobody. You know, that you meant to or not meant to or whatever the case may be. Once you do something like that, you know, that's just something, you know, you guys out there, you know, and I'm just talking about all you guys that you know, have trouble dealing with certain things in life that, you weak-minded. You know, you guys cannot revert to just taking someone's life. That will never be the answer. You know, not only that you're destroying that person's life, but you're destroying a community. You're destroying the world getting better. The guy was going to go the next day and speak to the LA, PD department, you know, about, you know, what they could do to make things better in the neighborhood and far as gang, because, you know, the guy, Nipsey Hussle was a Crip before, and, you know, he was just, you know, pretty much trying to bring peace, you know, and have a discussion of what they could do better to make LA a place where people want to actually go. Because personally, you know, I feel disgusted with LA. You know, I feel like, you know, you can't even walk to the store without something happening to you, and it's sad. It shouldn't have to be like that. LA is the probably #1 in the most break-ins by a celebrity. Yeah. You know, they broke in LeBron James' house, the Game's house, Chris Brown's house, Pacquiao. I mean, the list goes on. You know what I mean? And it's just like, you know, it's like people shouldn't have to live like that.
You know who the biggest gangster in LA is? The LAPD.
Yeah.
The LAPD is the biggest gangsters.
Yeah, that is true. You know, and you know, I just feel like, you know, those guys. You know, I just feel like, you know, for the future, you know, all you guys that are out there, you know, tuning in, listening, just, you know, if you feel like, you know, that you know you're gonna just step out, you know, bring your security. Always, you can never be too safe. You know what I mean? When you feel the things you did when you was, you know, before you made it, like hanging in front of a block or whatever the case be. As much as you feel like, you know, you want to do that, it's best that you just don't. You know what I mean? It's best that you just avoid certain things, because, you know, you, like we said, you know, you will always have that one person, and guess what? You're not gonna know who that one person is until you're in that situation. So just avoid it as best. You know, God bless Nipsey Hussle and his family. I see Jay-Z put a $15 million trust fund into his kids. You know, thank God, you know, for Jay-Z, you know, doing that, for blessing his family. You know, Jay-Z, you know, has a big heart. He's been doing that a lot. He's been donating a lot, you know, that I've been seeing him in the news, you know, looking out for people and stuff like that. And, you know, and then, you know, my hat goes off to, you know, to Jay-Z for that. And, you know, my heart goes out to Nipsey Hussle. But, you know, by no means that I'm trying to, you know, knock Nipsey Hussle for, you know, doing a good deed or anything like that. All I'm just saying is, you know, I just, you know, because I get hurt about the situation. I don't even know the man personally. Because, you know, I just hate when somebody's life is just taken away like that. You know, you just feel like, damn, you know, what could you have done differently if you was with him or something like that? You know, you think like that because, you know, I'm a person that I care. So, you know, when I, you know, just think about somebody, I can only imagine, you know, someone that, you know, is even closer, you know, to you. Mm-hmm. But, you know, someone that's such important to this world as Nipsey Hussle is and will continue to be. And I also would want to shout out Nick Cannon. I appreciate you wanting to taking over for the documentary on the whole AIDS situation. And, you know, I appreciate you, you know, taking over for Nipsey Hussle in that respect. So my hat goes off to you as well. But, you know, it's just, you know, it's just very, you know, sad, you know, situation that, you know, I hope, you know, in my perfect world will never happen again. But, you know, that's why I'm trying to give that message out there that, you know, you guys do your best to prevent it. You know, situations from happening. Don't put yourself in somewhere you do not have to be in. You know what I mean? Even if you're a person that likes to hang out, like to go places, it's okay to stay in. You know what I mean? Don't always feel like you have to go just because you're bored or whatever. You know, you'd rather be bored than spend that 5 minutes, end up getting shot, and you didn't see it coming because all you wanted to do was have a good time. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, pick your spots. You know, pick how you do things. Make sure, you know, you always have good people around you. Surround yourself with good men. You know, and just try to limit, you know, negative situations as best as possible. You know, and if you're able to be legally armed as well. You know what I mean? Because you can never be too safe. That's my message out there. Because if it was up to us, we'll bring that man Nipsey Hussle back. You know what I mean? Because it's just this is just a horrible way. I couldn't even watching that video. Just imagine yourself in that man's shoes. I just want people to let that sink in. Just put yourself in that man's shoes, man. You know what I mean? He didn't see that coming. Like, that's just so wrong. To just have your life taken away like that. Over somebody just straight hating. You know what I mean? Like, that's just straight bullshit. Just straight bullshit. Like, that should not happen. No, there's certain things in this world that I feel like just shouldn't happen, but happens. And it goes to show you we live in a very, very dirty, dirty ass world. So that's why I put that message out there, guys. And I'm going to continue as you get to know me and Pops, my co-host. You're going to get to know us, throughout the years. We just, I just don't like to tolerate, bullshit like that. I hate guys that exist like that just take people's life away thinking this is Grand Theft Auto. This is not Grand Theft Auto. You can't rewind this. You can't say, oh, I want to play again. I died. Can I press the button again? Can I put in my quarters that you do in the arcades? No, guys, we cannot. I want you guys to understand that. If you have beef with somebody, my advice to you, no matter how deep that beef is, and trust me, and I'm speaking from experience, you might have that beef where you feel like you have to kill that person, but you know what? It will never be worth it. You know what's the best thing to always do? Walk away. Vanish from that person's life. Just disappear and like if the person didn't exist. You know what I mean? Never retaliate or respond with violence. It's not going to get you nowhere. It's going to get you dead or locked up or people trying to kill you because of what you done. Like what Eric Holder is dealing with now, or what he will continue to deal with for the rest of his life. For the stupid, pathetic, horrific, just disgusting and, decision that he decided to do. Period. You know what I mean? There's a million mistakes we could do as human beings, but guess what? That is not one of them. Killing someone, taking someone's life would never be a mistake. Never. Never. And I feel like if we as a nation, as a whole, as a universe, as the whole entire world together, if we start having a better mindset of how we look at life, no matter what we facing, because you got to remember, when we born into the world, not all of us is born rich. You know what I mean? 90% of us is born very poor. You know what I mean? And no matter what our life circumstances is, if we show more love than hate in this world, we'll be a better world. Stop worrying about the next man's pockets. Not everybody could be a celebrity. Not everybody's going to be famous. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean that you won't, your income can't be fat. Doesn't mean you can't have a couple of $1 million in that bank account. You know what I mean? But by taking somebody's life because you don't have his life will never ever be the answer. That's something that should never ever be considered. We need to stop picking up the guns. If you can't get along with somebody, just don't deal with that person so you're not getting yourself in a situation where you killing that person. Nobody should ever lead to want to killing somebody. It's sad enough that this world is already short as it is. We have to die of some natural causes. But let it be that than somebody taking somebody's life by wanting to shoot them. It's bad enough we have to die in general. So by rushing them to their death is the most awfulest thing to do. You know what I mean? If we start looking at life for what it is, and valuing everybody's life, no matter where you come from in this world, will be a better world in general. Forget who's president. Forget Donald Trump. Forget whoever it is. If we start doing this as a whole, then we'll start being better as a nation. The world will start changing. But if we don't change as a nation, we can have 2, 3, 4, 5, 20, 1,000 people change. But if we're not having that million, billions of people changing, we're gonna have the same results, the same bullshit that's gonna continue to happen in this world. You know, so we want to, you know, continue to see situations like what happened in Nipsey Hussle. Then, you know, we never will see change. But if we're gonna start making change, it have to start today, not tomorrow. We've been too late with this shit already. It shouldn't have to take me to put that message out there, but if it had to do it to actually get into at least maybe, you know, somebody's head to where it could lead to trickle down to the next person, and you know the goal is to let that number rise and rise and rise and rise. You know what I mean? Because we cannot continue to have, you know, tragedies like that happen in this world. You know, especially with someone that all he was doing was creating positive stuff. You know, change the world. You know, put people on. Look at it, goes to show you he was looking out for a guy that did 20 years in prison. Okay. 20 years. That goes to show you he was loyal for this guy for 20 years. Why? Well, obviously more than that, because he was doing time for 20 years. So let's say maybe it was 25, 30 years or whatever. He knew the guy. And for him to look out for him, because, you know, he owns a clothing store. He was giving him clothes, you know, so he could look good for, you know, see his family, whatever. And that whole situation happened. Doing a good deed. The man died on doing a fucking good deed. You know what I mean? And it's just, you know, shit like that we just not can happen, man.
Losing the good people and leaving the bad people here.
That's my whole point. It just can't happen, guys. Don't rush nobody to their death, guys. You know what I mean? It's nonsense. You know, we got one life to live. Let's live it the right way. Let's stop killing each other. Separate yourselves. You can't get along. Separate yourself. Period. End of story.
You ain't a little kid, man.
You're a little kid. Let's start having a better mentality. The world would be a better world if we have a better mentality, man. Stop having that, you know, that garbage-minded mentality. It's not gonna get us nowhere. We should never ever hate someone enough to want to kill them. Separate yourself. That's how you kill that person. He's out of my life. Separate myself. I don't gotta see that person ever again. Live my life.
Because now you're gonna be living his life in jail. And he won't like that. What you gonna do in there?
Exactly.
And now he can't be in the population. You gotta be what? One of those solitary places. Probably won't even see the sun. But that's good though.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And I hope when you go to court you don't say, oh, I'm not guilty. Say you're guilty because you did it.
That's it. He's guilty.
Yeah, you did it.
You know?
And trying to play that crazy.
No, that shit ain't gonna rock.
Because that real crazy people.
We want to hear what the fuck he gotta say. He better speak.
What crazy people go knocking on the
Right.
Oh, I'm crazy.
Right. Nah.
Bullshit.
Nobody want to hear that shit, man. Nobody want to hear that.
Yeah,
You know, honestly, I feel like they probably have him solitary, but I feel like they gonna have him in solitary until they figure out what the fuck made him do that. They just want to hear what the fuck bullshit he has to say, and then give him to the wolves. Cause either way, he's fucking fried. This guy thinks this shit is a joke.
Yeah, he's fucked.
He gotta understand he is finished. Nobody's gonna have sympathy for him. And guys, if that's what you want, that's gonna be the end result. If you want to be Eric Holder, that's your faith. So if you guys, you know, all you guys out there that's watching, if you guys think y'all gonna be copycats, thinking that shit is okay, good luck. Good motherfucking luck, because that's gonna be exactly what's gonna happen to you. All right, so you know my message out there, guys, is just stop the fucking bullshit. Separate yourself. Simple.
Enjoy what's it got? Bologna sandwich.
You know, just enjoy it, exactly. You know, like you don't want. Nobody should have want to come into this world to be locked up, living their life locked up. You know what I mean? So you know, that's my take. You know, I wish would have done differently, and I say it more because I wish the man was still alive. You know what I mean? So you know, that's why. Because you know, it's just
Nobody should die like that.
Nobody should go out like that. Nobody. You know, I don't wish that on nobody, man. And oh man, I just cringe just thinking about it. You know,
real disgusting.
is the devil's real dirty, man, and the devil's working 24/7. That's why you guys always gotta have a step on this bastard. Because if we start defeating them together, like I said, we will live in a better world. So let's start having a better mind, a better mentality going forward as a nation as a whole. And I hope this message touch home, man. That's the whole thing about this whole.
We gotta think about our kids and our grandkids.
Right.
I mean, you don't have grandkids yet.
Right. But that's the goal. You want to get there. You want to get to the steps we supposed to get to. You know what I mean? Let's just start, man. Just doing things differently, man. Like, it's sad that every time you go on the news, no matter what state it's at, you hear somebody getting killed. Like, come on. Like, that shit just gotta give. Like, come on. We're in 2019. We've been doing the same shit since this world been existed.
Yeah. It's getting worse, though.
Like, come on, man. Like, like, what's up? What is it gonna take for people to realize, okay, let's fucking try shit differently for once? Like, it's crazy, man. Let's stop having that stupid ass, killing mentality, man. There's no need for that. There's no need for that, man. Like, this world would be so much beautiful, man. If we could eliminate that as a whole, my God, this would be a beautiful world. But it's not gonna happen until we start doing it, guys. But I hope you guys take that into consideration, and and really make a change, man. Because man, I would love to see that. I would love to see that. That I think that would be better than hitting the lottery, because to make a change like that, man, that would be something that we need. That's more important than any dollar figure, because guess what? That's temporary. But having the world change is eternal, because it'd be better for the nation as a whole, for our kids, our generation, and the list goes on. That's the message. That's the whole thing we trying to bring out. Straight positivity, guys. Don't put yourself in negative situations. It's hard to even go out and have a good time. Me and Pops don't even go to the bar for a drink because of the shit that happens. You know what I mean? It's just crazy. You just got to be so cautious with your life. Not saying don't live your life. Not saying be afraid of your life. Right. I'm just saying be smart with your life. When you make your moves, always make sure you stepping out that box. So you're looking at things from a different lens, and you're not missing anything. You know what I mean? And if you feel funny about something, don't go against it. You know what I mean?
Go with your first instance.
Always go for your first instance. Right.
Go
That's something that you always want to make sure you do in everything you do. Because you want to try to make it as long as you can. I just seen on the other day a lady made it to 119th birthday. She had grandkids on top of grandkids on top of grandkids. That's a blessing.
That's a long life to live.
That's a long life. And guess what? She was talking. She recognized her kids. She still had her satellites. I mean, that's all you can ask for, especially at that age. You know what I mean? So, if we start